Leary's pass to Canis. Complete. That gain is good for a first down, Kentucky.
For decades, the home of Kentucky football has been accompanied by a comforting sound. With every dramatic twist and turn, Carl Nathe injects energy into the stadium, providing the Big Blue Nation with memories that last a lifetime.
Touchdown, Kentucky!
Before he got his big break into the booth, Nathe's career began in the media. He spent years working in local radio and television before shifting to PR and becoming the UK football PA.
I'm curious, from those memorable wins, part of your job is, as soon as something big happens, you announce it, touchdown Kentucky, right? In that LSU game, I couldn't tell if he got stopped short. Did you know right away? Is there ever a moment of hesitation?
I always try to make sure, but I could see the players jumping up and down, and then one of my teammates in the booth, we have Mike Fannin and Donnie Atkins. By the way, they're each in their 27th year with me. Donnie Atkins is a former state championship basketball coach at Lafayette High School. He's in his 27th year. Mike Fannin, who coached for years and taught at Beaumont Middle School in Lexington, great basketball coach himself. He has been doing the stats and the down and distance and all that for years. And then we have Jay Davis, who's in about his 5th year with us, and he does the scoreboard. But we all work together. And then we've got marketing people over here. But you asked me the question about that first year and that early memories. Yeah, and then you get to that overtime game with LSU. You wait to make it official, but we get a lot of help from our teammates. We have a spotter, Donnie Atkins. He's watching for that kind of thing with the officials and the referees. So I knew pretty quick. And then after that, it was just bedlam.
Yeah. Well, so how does this is something that how does one become the voice of Kroger Field, to be the PA guy that gets to yell touchdown Kentucky?
The athletic department put out a thing that you could send them a tape or an audition. And I had done some public address announcing, and I'd done an awful lot of broadcasting, TV and radio. So anyway, it came down to 4 of us at the spring game in 1997. We each got to do 1 quarter.
Oh.
There were 3 other fellows, a couple of radio people in town, and somebody else, the 4th one I can't remember. But anyway, I got a call eventually from athletics, and Sam Newton was the athletics director, and Kyle Moats was in charge of that part of the operation. And I got the call and got the job, and so far so good for now 27 seasons. But I really have enjoyed it, been blessed to be able to do it. You put in a good amount of time, and I take it. I take it to try to do my best I can. I take it seriously, but it's fun. Once you get to the game, it's a lot of fun.
Is there, what part of this job? A lot of people would say, well, you just gotta yell, first down. You gotta. What's probably something about this job that's difficult that the average Joe doesn't realize?
Well, you have the preparation. I talk during the week. I'll talk to the visiting SIDs and communicate via email and text and so forth. In this case today it's Alabama, but also keep up with Tony Neely and Susan Lax at UK, keep up on football. I'll usually able to attend the Monday news conference with Coach Stoops just to kind of get a pulse on what's going on. But I study the rosters, particularly the visitors, go over the pronunciations of the difficult names. You put in the time before, that's what you got to do, just like if you're doing play-by-play. Now Tom Leach has got to get it down even more because he's doing it as it happens. I'm kind of doing it right after the play. But the hardest thing probably, or the biggest challenge in the booth, is the quickly processing information. In other words, you're getting the down and the yardage gained on a play, you're getting information fed to you, who made the tackle. I can pretty much watch the offense, like if I know you're lined up as the tailback, like Ray Davis or something, and they hand it to Ray Davis, I can easily spot that. But sometimes you'll have a pass play, it's difficult, the receiver's screened out by something, so I rely on my spotter, Donnie Atkins. Mike Fannin knows whether they got past the first down marker, that kind of stuff. But you just have to take it all in. You want to make sure you have it right, and then get it out there.
Did you, my favorite, when I think of Carl Nathe, I think of first down Kentucky. Is that out of your own making? How did that come to be?
Well, I mentioned Doug Bruce earlier, and actually people sometimes forget this, but Doug started that. Apparently, the story goes that then president of the university, David Rozelle, this was in the late 80s, I guess. And the football team wasn't playing very exciting football at the time. And he said, hey, can you do something? He said to Doug, can you do something to maybe get the crowd going? And Doug just kind of, well, we can kind of celebrate first down. So he did it. And then when I got the job, took over, CM Newton said, hey, I want to play it straight. I want it kind of matter of fact, down the middle. So that's what we did the first couple of seasons. We didn't do first down Kentucky. Early in the 1999 season, I got a phone call from the athletic department saying, hey, remember first down Kentucky? We want to do it again. I said, you got it. And so, and I do it gladly and with gusto. One of the nice things about the improvement of the football program, because we also, if you listen during the game, we also do say touchdown Kentucky, much as Tom Leach does on the radio. The fact is, early on with first down Kentucky, there were people say, what are we doing celebrating first downs? Well, thankfully, when we start getting more touchdowns, people start noticing that. And there seems to be less, as the team wins more games, there's less pushback on that sort of thing. But I used to hear that from some people, like, what are we doing celebrating first down? Well, the whole point is to have fun at the stadium. Mm-hmm. You serve at the pleasure of the athletics director and the athletic department. You do not just go off and do your own thing. Yes, I have a style. I think I bring a natural energy and enthusiasm. Most of the jobs that I've had in news and sports through the years before I was in public relations, if anything, I have to work to tone myself down. When I do a voiceover project or something for somebody, or for a commercial,
right,
people say, okay, that's fine, but tone it down, because I'm just that way.
Yeah.
And my wife will say, I think I told you this off camera, but my wife will say, hey, I'm right here in the kitchen with you. Would you just pipe down a little bit? So, and you might have the same problem with your voice.
Yeah. Well, so you've done this now for decades and decades. You're the only, when I go to Kroger Field, that's the only voice I've heard is Carl Nathe's. Is there one player in particular you watched over the years that might have been a little more fun than most to yell first down Kentucky after his big play?
Well, the first downs are always fun. Gosh, that's Randall Cobb with running out of the Wildcat, but Tim Couch to Craig Yeast, there was so many first downs. Well, we weren't doing first down that year, but
there's a lot of touchdowns, a lot of points, not a lot of tackles.
But they've always been fun. But you know what? The player that stands out in my mind, and I remember him because I think he got the most. It's actually a defensive player. He was listed, I think, at 6'1½", 216 pounds. I'm talking about Wesley Woodyard, a linebacker. He's now in the UK Athletics Hall of Fame. Was, I thought, one of those guys. I'm not a football scout, I'm not a football expert. I've watched a lot of football. But he's the type of player that I would come back to you if you were the head of scouting for an NFL team, and I would say, Carl, well, what do you think of Wesley Woodyard? I said, Matt, I'm not sure where he's going to play. I don't know about size and all that, but we got to have him on the team. Mm-hmm. And Wesley Woodyard went undrafted, but Champ Kelly was in Denver, who's now with the
Raiders
general manager, I believe, right now. So Champ Kelly was in the Denver organization, and when Wesley got passed over, this is in, 2008, 9, somewhere in there. He got passed over 7 rounds, never got drafted. And the late coach Steve Ortmeyer, I remember hearing him saying, who knew a lot about pro football, had experience as a general manager, I don't understand why they didn't draft him. Well, Champ Kelly, they signed him. So what happens the first year? Woodyard starts on special teams, becomes special teams captain the first year. By the second year, he's starting at linebacker. He ends up playing 12 or 13 years, Denver, Tennessee Titans. I saw him just recently at the event they had for Rich and Karen Brooks to celebrate the indoor facility, renaming the field in the Nutter Training Facility. And Wesley Woodyard, he's my favorite. I got to admit, he's my favorite. Offensively,
that's a good favorite, though. That's a good favorite.
Offensively, I'm just happy when we get the first down and get the touchdown, and it's a team game.
Yeah.
But they asked me the player that stands out, Wesley Woodyard.
How many more years do we got left in the tank?
You name it. I mean, I've still got the, for lack of a better term, I've still got the fire in the belly. I still would love to keep doing it, but again, there might be other people that have other ideas. Hopefully, so far so good. I'm at the stage where take it year to year. Approach every game like you want to give it your very best effort, and have fun doing it. And that's kind of where I'm at. And of course, winning makes. It's funny how that works, Matt. And I'm guessing when you do stuff for KSR and stuff, and we do this kind of, more people get excited about it when you're covering a winning team.
As Tom Leach said, you sound better when you win.
You sound better when you win. It's like, you do a better job. You might have done the same job, but the other thing too, one thing I didn't mention before, I like to say, when it comes to the visiting, I'm very enthusiastic for Kentucky. When it comes to the visiting team, I never want the visiting team or coaches or staff or fans to say, oh, he really disparaged our team. I might not get as excited. Mm-hmm. Let's pretend you were a linebacker for Tennessee, tackle. Yeah. I might just say tackle by Roush.
Right.
Not sacked by Roush,
Yeah.
That kind of a thing, but I never want to disparage. So you try to play it, kind of even for the. So anyway, I'm going to keep doing it as long as when I wake up, I want to still do it, and that's definitely still the case.
Well, I know fans want to keep hearing you, but we appreciate it, Carl.
Hey, thank you.
It was awesome.